Hello everybody, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today is a continuation of an oil painting demo. Previously, I took a gesso smooth board from Hobby Lobby. This one has like some depth to it. And I went over it in a tonalist fashion, in the fashion of Stuart Davies and Dennis Sheehan. Using sap green and Italian Pompeii red, a mixture of the two, mixed with Galkid, and applied it, wiped it back and forth. Used this brush from Jerry's Artorama, which is the Pro Stroke White Bristle Creative Mark. It had a little bit more texture to it, so I was playing around with that, and some paper towel wiping back and forth. And that was the part one. Now it's dry to the touch. So here I'm going to glaze. I'm going to use the Galkid as my thinning medium. And for this one, I think I'm going to use the Rembrandt Transparent Oxide Orange. I just really enjoy this. It's just a nice transparent color. I have some other ones. And I do have another demo that I had put together on a different surface. So I think that I'll use a different color in a different video. Now, a few things to take away from this is that this is my approach to glazing. I think there'd be other people that would do it this way, and then there are people that would say that it's completely wrong. There's people that would probably use liquid or just pure linseed oil. What else? There's a lot of different ways. And I believe this is a sustainable way, you know, like where it shouldn't crack over time or have issues. But that being said, you may want to look into what medium you want to use and how you want to go about applying the glazes. So I'm going to go throughout and apply this. Sometimes I'll mix it with a palette knife and then kind of just scoop it onto it and then spread it around with a paper towel. Here I'm just scrubbing it on. I've seen videos where people use a big brush and apply it in that manner. But my goal here is to kind of just get a coating of this, and then I will wipe back, change the intensity in different spots. I will have to put out more paint and more of my medium, the Galkid. But if I used a paper towel to start moving it around now, I would probably have enough on it to get everything tinted the way I wanted it. Some people kind of will spot glaze, like different colors. They'll use local colors for those spots. Maybe, you know, the blues in the sky, greens on the foliage, browns on tree trunks. So just using colors in different areas and glazing. The end goal for this painting, it being an imaginary scene, I don't really have anything particular in mind. It's still experimental, pushing things in different directions and seeing what happens. And yeah, just let it happen. I let these areas deliberately stay white in the initial stage to kind of see what type of glow we can get. And glazing is what I think, you know, traditionally people will say, you know, is what how the masters at oil painting achieved a glow and depth to their paintings. You'll often hear about the Mona Lisa and how they'll discover some layers of film of paint might be, you know, like 0.3 of a micron thick or something like that. So that often comes up as something that the old masters utilized quite a bit. All right, so I have a layer all throughout, and I personally will just take a paper towel and start wiping back. There was a demo I had watched on YouTube a long while ago, and I wish I remembered the guy's name. He had a big canvas. It was a big canvas, like maybe almost his size, and he had a landscape painted on it. And then from there, he covered the whole painting in ultramarine blue, and he wiped back, and it was dark, and he wiped back and rediscovered the image and kind of recreated the light areas and the darks. You know, darks would stay where he neglected to wipe, or wiped with a less pressure. You could play around with the textural lines that start taking place. You could use Q-tips to scrub back to the original painting before we started doing a glaze. You can see how it starts to tint everything. One thing that I have been struggling with is in layers past the first one and what's starting to glaze is keeping the textural strokes and the qualities that are there. The more opaque colors will seem to kind of fill in those textures very easily, and I'll lose some texture that I want in the original, final piece. So that's some things that I've been exploring and trying to figure out myself. So as you can see, we have that on there. We could probably, if we needed to wipe into spots, we would be able to. Let me grab a Q-tip. I have one right up here. This is eyeshadow applicator Q-tip, where it has a more pointed end to it. I have had a little bit of difficulty getting it to really keep that point. It might be because I'm applying the amount of pressure that I am. But I'm lifting out, scrubbing back in spots that I want to keep maybe highlighted, or maybe I'll let them get glazed in another layer. Let's see. Just get a little bit of variety in some spots. And I think that I really won't go much further with this one. We'll kind of do this over multiple parts. It is an enjoyable process, and I have complained about the fact that something like this is 3/4 of an inch thick, I think. Regardless, it has a depth to it, and they start taking up space, and you don't want to just paint it. Okay, I'm done. Paint it. Okay, I'm done. And you start getting a huge pile. So for me, in the lack of space to store oil paintings, it promotes more attention to the painting and just enjoying the process. So I'll put this guy on the side to dry. We'll come back in a few days, and we'll see what other type of glazing we can do and play around with on top. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, follow, and if you would like to support this channel, I do have the Patreon account linked down below. All right, y'all have a great day.